So instead of relying on the talent that these men think that they have or convincing themselves that they have, they want to rely on misogyny, making fun of Megan, making fun of Megan being shot. It's just really weird, but expected of you annoying ass dusties. So while we should really be talking about Megan Thee Stallion slaying the game at Amazon Music Live, we have to talk about this whole Drake bullshit that's been going on with Megan and everything. So the one line from Drake's newest album or whatever, Drake, 21 Savage? I don't know. The one line from that new album that had the whole entire internet talking was this one. Drake apparently said, "This bitch lied about getting shots, but she's still a stallion." And so that's when the dick riding immediately started, because we can obviously tell what's happening with that line. But people were really trying to convince us like, oh, well, you just don't understand. You don't understand. He didn't actually make fun of Megan Thee Stallion. He didn't actually say anything about it. He didn't say Megan's name. And he said shots, not shot. And it's just like, but you really think we're that fucking stupid to not see double meaning in this shit? Like, you can't be serious. So the jab was beyond obvious, and I think that it's so corny, right? Because obviously, you know that this is gonna get you clicks. You know people are gonna be checking out the song because it's like, oh shit, what do you say about Megan, blah, blah, blah. I think this album did really well first week. So it's just like, like I said before, why don't y'all rely on the talent that y'all convince yourselves y'all have instead of little cheap bullshit like this? You see what I'm saying? So of course, Megan responds by saying, "I know I'm very popular, but y'all gotta stop attaching weak ass conspiracy theories and bars to my name. Niggas nor hoes ever address me or at me with a fact or receipts. I am clout, bitch, keep sucking my pussy." She also said, "People attack me, y'all go up for it. I defend myself, now I'm doing too much. Every time, it never ends, and this did not happen until I came out and said I got shot. Y'all don't fuck with me, okay, cool, fuck it, bye. And when the motherfucking facts come out, remember all y'all hoe ass favorite rappers that stood behind a nigga that shot a female." And that's one of the reasons why I'm not done yet. I'm about to drag the shit out of these hoes. That's one of the reasons why I can't wait for this trial to happen. Let's just talk about the facts. Let's talk about these niggas. Like, let's talk about these niggas, right? So Tory Lanez, Stonehenge Teeth himself, is on house arrest right now for being, yet again, for being fucking violent. Tory Lanez has been placed on house arrest as he awaits trial on charges he shot fellow rapper Megan Thee Stallion. Greg Reisling, Assistant Chief of Media Relations at the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office, told USA Today the court made the decision to place Lanez under house arrest Wednesday following allegations he assaulted August Alsina in Chicago last month. According to CBS Los Angeles, the prosecution filed a motion to have Tory Lanez brought into custody without bail, arguing he's a danger to society with a pattern of defying court orders. House arrest for Lanez, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, begins Monday and lasts until his jury trial. I'm not sure when this article was written, but it lasts until his jury trial, which starts November 28th. So the person who y'all are trying so hard to convince us that is lying, Megan Thee Stallion, has not had violent fucking outbursts, is not currently on house arrest for literally violently assaulting somebody else, right? That's not her. Tory Lanez is that person. So now y'all are trying to come to us, trying to convince us that Megan is fucking lying when Tory Lanez is under house arrest for assaulting someone yet again before the fucking trial starts for Megan Thee Stallion. Y'all are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs if you think that I'm just gonna ignore the pattern of fucking violence, not only from Tory Lanez, but from a lot of you industry niggas, period, and be like, oh no, Megan's the one lying. What are you talking about? You niggas been protecting your abuser friends in the industry since forever. And I'm supposed to just, oh yeah, well, no, Megan, that's fucking ridiculous. And then for y'all to keep rehashing the point over and over on social media every time, dragging the shit out of Megan for no reason, in y'all songs, dragging the shit out of Megan for no reason. It's just like, and then y'all will turn around talking about, oh, well, what about men's mental health? Oh, well, what about, gun violence, blah, 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 blah. Y'all don't actually care about these fucking things, and all of that shit does not matter as much as misogyny does to y'all bitches, and that's it. That's it. And if I was Drake, I would just be hushed. I would be really, really quiet. about anything, about this whole entire situation. I mean, Drake has already given me insult. Girl, I'm gonna get in on that. Y'all trying to point the fingers, y'all trying to like make a scene, y'all trying to, instead of eliminate the violence in our community, y'all are literally laughing at someone who has experienced this violence. And it's just like, this makes sense because your friend Drake, Travis Savory, was arrested last summer on human trafficking and assault charges. That's one thing, Drake. What's up? The next one, Drake, you text underage girls. Billie Eilish told Vanity Fair Drake is like the nicest dude I've ever spoken to. I mean, I've only like texted him, but he's so nice. Like, he doesn't not need to be nice, you know what I mean? He's at a level in his life where he doesn't need to be nice, but he is, you know? And this article said this made some people who heard about the story a bit confused, and some thought it was a bit weird that Drake was texting someone who's only 17 years old. Then the next one, Millie Bobby Brown. Drake was 33 years old, texting 14-year-old Millie Bobby fucking Brown. Y'all also remember when Rihanna dabbed on his ass at the VMAs, I think? Drake was talking about Rihanna is someone I've been in love with. I mean, on stage, been in love with since I was 22 years old. She's one of my best friends in the world. All my adult life, I've looked up to her, even though she's younger than me. She's a living, breathing legend in our industry. Then he tried to kiss her, which, as Vogue points out, seemed to distract from Rihanna's achievement at the awards ceremony. At the time, it was pretty clear that Rihanna didn't appreciate the spectacle. She pulled away from the rapper's kiss. And in her interview, in a new interview, she opened up about what was really going on in her head at the time. She said, the VMAs is such a fan-focused awards show, so having that energy around me and knowing the people who received the award in the past made it feel like a big deal. Waiting through that speech was probably the most uncomfortable part. And I've already found it weird that, just from what I can see, Drake likes to be all up in these women faces. He loves to be all up in these women faces. And if they reject him or if they don't drink his bathwater, he over here honestly, never mind, her loss. You know what I mean? Making songs about they ass. It's just like, he gives me incel tease, period. I don't care, y'all can be mad about it. He gives me incel tease. And like I said, that underage shit is really fucking weird to me. I don't care what you're 33 years old texting a fucking 14-year-old. It's just fucking like, I'm just sorry. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, these men are up here making fun of Megan Thee Stallion within the context of trying to diminish what happened to her. Diminish the violence that happened to her. That's what they're trying to do. And it makes a lot of sense when you see that the men who are doing this shit are bringers of violence. Are bringers of violence, and are bringers of weirdo shit, incel shit, or fucking violence in the industry, in their own communities. And so it's like, as much as it annoys the shit out of me that y'all keep doing this shit over and over and over again, it makes a lot of sense when you're defended, when you over here friends with people who got arrested for human trafficking, when you over here in teenage girls' fucking phones, and when you're over here giving me incel energy. Like, and then not to even mention Tory fucking Lanez, who couldn't even stay away from violence before the fucking before Megan Thee Stallion trial started. He couldn't even stay away from that shit. And so those are not the people that y'all have issues with, right? It's the person who said, oh, I have faced this violence from these weirdo rappers, from this weirdo ass Stonehenge teeth ass 10 commandment tablet ass fucking teeth ass rapper. Right? I should not have had to go through that, and he needs to face justice for that shit. That's the person that y'all have a problem with. And like I said, it makes sense, because how else could y'all continue to be the people that you are, to be the violent weirdos that you are, if you don't downplay the violence that has affected people's lives? Like, how else could you continue to do that shit? And I'm often reminded of the conversations that people have when it comes to why certain victims don't want to even come out and, first of all, name their abuser, name the violence, talk about the violence that happened, because it's just like it's a lose-lose situation many times. Like, because if you don't say anything and then you suffer and suffer and suffer, they're gonna look at your ass and be like, well, bitch, why the fuck didn't your ass say anything? Why didn't you say anything? You should have spoke up. You should have spoke up. But then if you do speak up, they're gonna diminish what happened to you, especially depending on who you are, a woman, a homo, whatever, you know what I mean? They're gonna diminish that shit and act like, well, bitch, like, what do you expect kind of thing. Like, or they're gonna act like you're lying. So that's why I'm just like, whichever pathway people take to deal with abusive behavior, to deal with violence, that's how they fucking, as victims, like, they just deal with it. That's how they deal with it, and that's fine. You know, because no matter which pathway you take, somebody gonna have some dumb shit to say all the time. And it usually be people who hang around with abusers, who are abusers themselves, who protect fucking people who do weirdo shit, and these rappers who serve me incel energy. It gives me very much when Kodak, you remember when Kodak Black was talking about, Kodak Black made headlines with this shit. Kodak Black expects to sleep with female rap collaborators. I gotta bust them. So you can imagine, first of all, the fact that Kodak Black is even allowed to maneuver in this industry just tells you that that kind of behavior or thinking is accepted and tolerated in the music industry, especially coming from men, period. But you know that there are other people who think just like him. So imagine rejecting one of these rappers, not wanting to be bothered with their dumb ass, and now all of a sudden, because of their entitlement, because of their misogyny, because they expect certain things from your ass, they're gonna try and ridicule your ass, they're gonna try and excuse the violence or diminish, downplay the violence that has happened to your ass, or they're gonna try and enact violence upon you anyway. Regardless. So it's like, y'all annoying as hell, y'all are annoying as hell, and y'all expect people to look the other way or to act like it didn't happen, or whatever, when you and your friends enact violence against especially black women, period, but you know, specifically we're talking about in the industry. You expect everybody to look the other way and act like it didn't happen, or act like, well, that's just boys will be boys, this is how it goes. It's like, y'all are corny. I can't wait for this trial. On that note, thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure you check out my description box for all my extra goodies. Love y'all so much, and make sure that you have a good goddamn evening.
Hey, Hades, can you fuck me in your all black Mercedes? You can take my soul, just let me be first lady. But I won't sacrifice this pussy for a man.